For democracy to thrive in a country, the legislature must be strong and independent. So a strong, independent legislature. Secondly, you must have also a truly independent judiciary that is not subservient to the executive. Because the executive has the power. The executive is the one that has the power to raise resources. They're the ones who tax the people. And they tax the people in order to provide services. But the voice of the people comes through the legislature. Because they're the ones who are with the people on the ground. They're the ones who represent the people on the ground. And we know how the people feel. They know, the ones who know where the shoe is pinching. So, now, what are the problems we are having in Kenya today? How is democracy under siege today? What are the threats to our democracy? And the threat to our democracy is that there's no respect or fidelity to the Constitution of 2010. Those who have been tasked to implement it are those who do not believe in it. Those who are right now there were the ones who are opposing that Constitution in the referendum of 2010. Therefore, they want basically to take this country back to where we came from. If you look at what's happening. Number one, legislature. Legislature is under serious threat. Last year, when the results were announced in the National Assembly, the Azimio coalition had 172 seats. The Kenya Kwanza coalition had 165 seats. The majority coalition was one who should be the leader of majority in parliament is Mr. Opiyo Wandayi of Azimio. But they started immediately when the results were announced to start poaching. Immediately before being sworn in, they had already bought a party which was an affiliate of Azimio called UDM. Then the other one called PA. Another one called Maendeleo Chap. Crossed the floor to join the other side, making therefore Kenya Kwanza now have a majority. And that's how they managed to win the speaker elections. And they now imposed their person as a speaker of the National Assembly. Those, if the judiciary was right, those elections should have been nullified. Because those people who had moved, they were elected in Azimio, should not have been allowed to participate in the elections. Because they had defected. And under our laws, if you move from a party that sponsored you to elections, you are required to resign or lose your seat and go for a by-election. That has not happened. So now Kenya Kwanza is enjoying artificial majority in parliament. Then they went on again to now raid the other parties. You've seen members of ODM going to State House announcing that they are going to work with this Kenya Kwanza government. You are elected on an ODM ticket. If you want to work with Kenya Kwanza, resign, go back for a by-election and be re-elected and come back. Then they raided now our other new party, Jubilee. Several members of Jubilee announced that they are now going to work with Kenya Kwanza without following the process that is provided for in law. You cannot just announce. Azimio is a coalition, there's an agreement. If you want to remove, you must follow the process. Because the leadership of Jubilee is very much still in Azimio. But members of Jubilee Party who are elected in Jubilee Party, therefore, are now sitting on the other side of the house. So now you see, Parliament has completely been compromised. They are enjoying an artificial majority in Parliament. And now they can pass all the laws that they want. Bills are published, they're taken to the State House, members are called there, and they're told you must pass this bill as it is. When it comes to the House, there's even no debate. The Speaker normally should move a procedural motion to reduce the time that's allowed to members. In the old days when we were in that Parliament, you could speak for the whole day on a bill. There was no time limitation. And continue again the following day. Only when the time was closing near is when either you call the mover to reply, or you reduce the time. But you cannot reduce the time below 15 minutes. Usually it used to be 20 minutes. Now they say you have only 5 minutes to speak on a bill. What can you say in 5 minutes on a bill? And when you start speaking, after 3 minutes, the first light is flashing. After 5 minutes, the red light. They've removed the speaker from you. So you can't continue talking. So this Parliament is useless. Just a rubber stamp. And you have a speaker who is once a speaker is elected, first, if he was a member or a leader of a political party, he must resign from that political party. And he must be neutral. You have a case here where speakers are attending political rallies, speaking on issues which are before Parliament. Themselves, they are already taken aside on an issue which is before him as a speaker. What kind of Parliament is that? A speaker is not supposed to take sides. A speaker is supposed to be somebody who is neutral. And you have a speaker who every weekend is accompanying members of Parliament on Harambes. He's the one giving the member money for Harambes, and he's going to take them there, and he's talking there now as Kenya Kwanza. And hurling all sorts of insults at Baba. But he's a speaker of a National Assembly. So the National Assembly is completely in disrepute. The speakers themselves have shown by their own actions that they are not fit to be called speakers. You have had speakers in that house who have excelled themselves. The founding speaker was called Sir Humphrey Slade. He set a standard, a bar, so high. If you go and read Slade's rulings, you see this is a speaker speaking. And several other speakers. Another one was the speaker, Kenneth Marende, a true speaker. Then Parliament was Parliament. Today, this Parliament is Shenzi Parliament. It's nothing. So then they also corrupt members of Parliament. Because what is happening is that Parliament has budgeted money that it does not need. There's too much money in Parliament because they actually blackmail the legislature. And therefore, you've got money to bribe members of Parliament with the trips. I'm going to send you to Ireland. You can go with your wife or your girlfriend. You can go to the United States. You can go to Australia. You can go to Germany, and so on and so forth. So MPs most of the times are in the air. Some of them change clothes at the airport. Then they come, they go to Mombasa. All the committees meetings are held in tourist hotels in Mombasa. And you can go there with your darling or your girlfriend. So there's nothing happening in the legislature here.